we're talking about humanitarians, especially mom humanitarians who are starting their own businesses or starting their own consultancy, starting their own activity that they've always wanted to do, despite all the challenges that are ongoing currently. And that's why I wanted to invite one of my amazing clients to the stage to talk about this experience and also talk about this in a way that I feel, Noor, we've started working, I don't know, in October. It's been a very short period of time somehow. And she's been so great at getting to the stage of starting her own business. I'm so impressed. So, anyway, before we talk about the details, Noor, would you like to introduce yourself? And then we go from there.
Hello everyone, and hi Aso. Thanks a lot for the opportunity uh,
Absolutely.
to come and speak about that. So, my name is Nour. I'm from Lebanon, and I've been working in the humanitarian world for more than 15 years now. I'm a mom of two beautiful daughters. One of them has her birthday today.
Oh,
She's turning 2, and the other one is 7 years old. They're amazing girls, Juri and Yafa. And yeah, it's been quite fun and challenging to navigate, the work that we do, and also, being on the field, working internationally, and yeah, doing the
doing
the
all the
daily
things.
things doing all the things. That's the title, no?
Exactly, exactly. So, Noor, I think that's really where I would love to start our journey from is for any mom who is currently in this situation, and especially also single moms, moms who are taking care of several small children and at the same time worrying about their careers, worrying about the income, worrying about what the future holds, essentially, right? Is I thought sharing your journey specifically about it as to what are the things you went through as well in this decision making process, right? In this, okay, where do I go next and what do I do? Maybe it would be helpful for everyone to hear from your experience and then how you've also resolved or overcome those so that you are able to say, okay, this is my path and this is what I'm going for.
So where to start? Let me go back to when I was 4 years old, I guess, or 5 years old. There was war in Lebanon, and I saw something accidentally on TV, and I saw like children, in Lebanon, and I said like, "Mom, how can I help those people?" And she said, "Work for UNICEF." This is how it works.
Uh,
Yeah, this is how it was all created in my head. And then I grew up having a very big talent in art, and this is what I studied actually. I did graphic design and multimedia at the university, and then Lebanon had a big influx of refugees, and this is where I felt like, something that I wanted since I was a child, and uh, I need to go and do it. So yeah, I was still studying my second year of master's, and I started working on the field. I found myself exactly there, helping people and trying to find solutions, let's say, to make their life a bit easier. And it's been a great journey ever since. Um, uh, I used to work as a manager in NRC. It used to take me, I think, an hour and a half every morning to get to the office. and then an
Mm.
hour and a half or maybe more, depending on the traffic, to come back home, do what I need to do and end the day and then come back again to work. And at that point, we decided to have a child. So I got pregnant, and the trip has started to become extremely challenging for me. I had like medical related issues. The doctor said, Noor, like if you want to continue being pregnant, then you need to work from home.
Mm.
And that was, I think, in 2014 or 15. At that time, I used to not just, do the commute, but also go on the field. I used to work in camps and travel from an area to another to deliver trainings and stand up and blah, blah, blah. So I spoke to my manager at that time, and she was like, no, no, you can't work from home.
Mm.
And I think, like looking back, how hard it was for people to uh, convince their employers to work from home and how much easier it's getting right now.
Mm.
And and then I said, okay. She gave me, I think, 2 months uh, until my first trimester ended, and then I had to take a decision. Like
Mm.
I cannot do what I need to do. And take care of my child, come home at 7 p.m. That was too much for me to handle. Some people can do it, and I, of course, don't judge. They have all the power. I don't have the power. So I said, okay, this is not working for me. What can I do? And I just saw one of my old friends, and he said, Noor, we have an opportunity with UNICEF, after all these years, where you can work for the government and maybe, like do the development work that you've been doing, plus start to integrate art into what you do. And then I said, okay, that's a great deal. It paid me half of my salary at that time, but I had no choice but to just do it. I lost a big amount of my salary, but I gained so much time.
Mm.
I was able to leave my home at 8:30 every day instead of 6:30. I came back home at 3. I had the time to rest, do whatever I need to do in the house. I had more time to cook because I love to cook.
Oh.
And yeah, and just rest as a pregnant woman. I cannot say that it wasn't challenging. It was extremely challenging to navigate, from a place that respects staff so much to a place
Mm.
where you don't have your minimum, rights in working in a government, in Lebanon. It was shocking, but I learned a lot. And my boss at that time with UNICEF was amazing. He helped me navigate through this world, and I gained so many skills. And it was a good time, for me to also uh, go on maternity and come back, and have the support I need, let's say. And yeah, I I had so many challenges to do this job, but it happened, and I'm happy I was able to do it. Like I can't say again it wasn't challenging, um, but I think any mother can decide to do it anyway. With the right mindset. It's not easy to always go and adopt
Mhm.
this mindset, but yeah, I never thought I could do uh, this job as a postpartum mom, like pumping in the
Mm.
office and um, coming back, rushing for my baby. And in Lebanon, it's only 70 days of maternity leave you get.
Mm.
So yeah, it takes a lot of emotional toll to come back when your baby is only 2 months old to work and just deal with people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, Noor, I think that's the experience of many people, especially I think also I'm thinking of moms who needed to leave their babies to go and work in another countries, right? And then come back for R&R. So these are extremely, extremely challenging. Like I when I coach my clients, a lot of the discussions we have about what am I doing this for is one on the one side, right? Is this worth all of the sacrifices and like trying to achieve the career goals but also being with loved ones? It feels always like the debates that is constantly going inside the mom's head, but also making very tough choices. And now I feel with the crisis in the humanitarian sector that debate and dilemmas have, like, I don't know, increased so much more. And the fundamental questions people are asking is, okay, I did all of these sacrifices and I spent a lot of the time away from my children, and now this is how the organization pays me, or this is how the organization treats me, right? So therefore, it feels a lot more painful to go through and experience this. In therefore, I think the question that a lot of people are asking now is, okay, what do I do moving forward? And with Noor, the question that we were really looking at is, okay, how do we stay at home and do the things that we want to be doing and also being next to our children, loved ones, right? And is that even possible? If so, can we do it at the level that we wanted to, especially in terms of the money side of things, right? And maybe, Noor, you can speak to that journey that we did together where, okay, what is it that we want to do? And also staying with your children at the same time, right?
yeah, yeah. So again, going back to how things were extremely difficult before COVID and after COVID. So we had to move also from Lebanon because of like extreme political instability that happened in 2018 or 17 at that time. And um, uh, it's not just, like making sure that you're with the kids, but it's also like having the support system around. So we had to trade the support system to stay working, to stay making money, to save, yeah, like to save also our money from the banks because we lost all our money in the banks in Lebanon. And um, when we moved to Istanbul at that time, the way I approach jobs, was different. So it's also the geographical location and where you are can really help. And it's also your mindset. So, okay, I have lots of skills. How am I gonna sell these skills? And I started going more on LinkedIn, looking at jobs, connecting with people. And I started to find out that there's a lot of people that have the same struggle as I do and understand my struggle. And sometimes coincidence just, happens. And I got connected with an ex boss that I used to work with NRC, who's also a mom, of two kids. And she's like, "Hi, Noor, I heard you're in Istanbul. I was wondering if we can work together on a project." And it just happened. So the first
Mm-hmm.
thing you could do is to find other mothers, you know, who are either still like employed with an organization or just have their way,
Mm-hmm.
to navigate this and just do it. Uh, and um, and here you meet lots of other people and you start to produce whatever it is, like whether it's a communications portfolio like mine or any other portfolio, and people start to know more and more about you. And LinkedIn has really helped me, like set the tone about who I am, what I do, and what I can offer.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kept on applying, but the application, I think, approach was a bit different. So if I want to be with my child at COVID times, when everyone is locked in their homes, do I really want to go to Namibia, and work there?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I look for jobs in a different way? Okay, let's not prioritize being, an employee at an organization, but maybe a consultant. Uh, and with the money that I have, I can create my own insurance plan and maybe a pension plan. So there are trade-offs, like we can't have it all, but I think we need to have the agency to decide ourselves what are our main priority for this stage and then just walk towards them. And yeah, I got my first international job and it started to roll in the most fascinating ways, until I reached um, a consultancy. I thought I could do it, remotely, but it was close. So it was in Ankara, in the same country. And I already had enough with Istanbul traffic. So I said, okay, it would be a good change. My daughter already spoke Turkish at that time, so the change wouldn't be too much for her. And we still struggled, but that was okay, I guess. And I moved back to work as an employee at one of the UN agencies in Ankara. And uh, again, like I kept on dealing with my job in a way that I do my job properly, but I also connect with lots of people who have or who may have opportunities for me in the future. So building trust with them that I can do the work they want even better when I'm in my home, instead of, on site. And then if I'm needed on the site, then that's fine. The work that I used to do with the UN actually took travels. So I sometimes had to travel for 10 days and leave my daughter with my husband, sometimes less than 10 days, but it did affect her. And sometimes it's a lot more for other women. And I can totally understand how um, devastating it is for them. But I think they can find a way to to sort it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then when I left, when my contract was done, again I kept on looking at consultancy opportunities in a way also that would build me the portfolio that I wanted, that I could sell to anybody, uh, and work not just from my home, but from maybe the country that I want to
Mm-hmm.
be at the moment. So after 4 years, I worked, I think, for like many agencies around the world now, in headquarters offices and in field offices, and I barely had to travel, uh, which is good. And also, like traveling from time to time is also fun. Like I don't want it to seem like, it's like a burden, or no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I was in Yemen 2 months ago delivering a training there, and it was such a delight. But just the fact that you have, again, the agency to choose when to be here and when not to be here, is a privilege, of course, but it's also a planned process. Like you can do it, you just need a few steps. One of them is not to feel like you're stuck in a place and you can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And you need to make sacrifices when it comes to money, when it comes to, your priorities in life. Maybe live in I don't know, like a country that provides you with electricity, for example. In my case, so I would be less stressed about deadlines and leave my family, my parents and my friends in Lebanon for exactly this, for a few years. It could be a lot of things, but I think, yeah, like being conscious about the next steps is key for you to create the life that you want.
Hmm. Amazing. So, Noor, if we just look at the things that we worked through in the last 2 months, would it be fair? 2 months, right? Yeah, maybe a bit more than 2 months. I think like having the questions of, okay, where am I going next, of all of the skills that I have and how am I going to now use them, whether I can use them. I think these are very normal questions that many of us have. The part that is important is, okay, how can we keep using them or keep making taking advantage of them instead of just saying, okay, now I cannot use this and I need to now go and do something totally different. And of course, maybe some people want to also do something totally different. That's fine, but don't do it because you just now feel like your old experience that you have gained is useless, right? So that's why I think was one of the things that we really works through with Noor is, okay, how all the portfolio that she has built over the years, how all of those amazing skills can now be used to do something of her own in addition to doing the consultancy work that she does already now with other agencies, right? And that's like how can that look like and how the service can look like, and we specifically work through also on how to work with individual clients in addition to organizations and entities. And in that, working with individual clients, what are the services that we're providing using the skills and experience that she had instead of like wanting to, I don't know, start from scratch, which for many people feels just like, I don't know, a painful thing to do, right? No one wants to start from scratch. I totally hear. And also, we don't need to start from scratch. So, therefore, the parts of like besides solving the where do we go and how do we use the skills that we have is getting more specific as to how do we use those skill sets moving forward and supporting other people in their journey with those skills that you have, right? So, Noor, maybe you want to talk about those as to how you are seeing this now clear for yourself as to how this can turn into a business, and how you want to continue with this.
Yeah. So after COVID, we had the budget cuts crisis, and people started to feel like, whew, like for those who have been working for UN agencies and INGOs for so long, have just lost a job overnight. And it was such a shock to everyone that like it created a lot of mess at the beginning, and more toxicity in the office, a lot of different things that you know about for sure, and the audience as well. So people started to say, okay, so I gave all my knowledge for this NGO, and then they can tell me to go home anytime. And then, like, for me personally, I was saying, like, I don't want to go to anywhere else because I don't know how to do,
Mm-hmm.
other things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite a shock actually at the beginning. And uh, you can see people already starting to shift, you know, and ask themselves like questions like, I don't know, are you still in the sector because you love it,
Mm-hmm.
or are you afraid to leave,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? And if you are afraid, if you don't like it anymore because of a million reasons we all know about, do you have skills that can be transferable to something else? And what would this look like? And this is why I came to you, Aso, on in October to discuss exactly that. And I don't think that anybody comes from like zero leads on how they want or who they want to be, you
Mm-hmm.
know, when transitioning. There's, you know, like you have the industry you work with, you have the function, and then the location, let's say, all together. Um, and you can, if you decide to change them all together in one time, you're gonna you're gonna have lots of challenges. But if, for example, you change the industry, but you keep the function and the country where you built, I don't know, the network, then maybe you can have a very successful transition. So let's say you are someone who works in partnerships and you've built a whole portfolio based on that. You could also be someone who does stakeholder engagement and, you know, do a lot of networking and close deals and become, you know, an account manager and, you know, work with clients around the world. You just need to know how to name things differently. You know, I believe in the humanitarian world, we use so much jargon
Mm-hmm.
that didn't allow us, actually, it did not allow us to be comprehensible to the outer world. So maybe we start first at dissecting this conversation where we speak about all the acronyms and the jargon, you know, in a way that makes us feel important but not maybe quietly understandable, and start to find the other, you know, other vocabulary to communicate with each other. And in my case, for example, I went to AI and asked, you know, there was a job that I wanted to apply for, and I just saw, okay, like this is my CV and this is the TOR. How can, because, you know, like also the CV is automated, you know, there's an ATS way in um, you know, like picking up the words that you need and all these things. So I started to ask, like, this is my CV, this is what I do. Let me know how I can move my skills or maybe move my vocabulary so ATS can pick me out of the hundreds of people that are applying. Now thousands, you know, given
Mm-hmm.
that so many are losing their jobs. So that's one thing I did. Another thing is to leverage my personal relationships and networking with people. So the things that AI cannot do is building trust over time with people, clients, companies, you know. And then believe it or not, it just pays back every time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing. Like you never know what comes out of it, and then after a few years someone remembers you for a project. So yeah, this is how it works. I'm sure like in the future, like any any other sector by now, even the recruitment will change, because I think in 2 years all the people will be able to, you know, send extremely well written, you know,
Yeah.
applications
Yeah. Yeah.
to recruiters because of AI. So what really differentiates us is who we are, the soft skills that we have, and the trust we build with people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is what I try to work on. For example, like I reached out to one of the clients that I had who also left the UN and willing to create his own business. I wrote him a message yesterday and I said, hey, I remember you want to open your own business, and I thought maybe I can help you with that. So I had like I searched online for his photos, a few of the things that he did, opened his LinkedIn, picked up all the information, and then sent him a demo. And he was blown away. He said like, "Wow, okay, let's schedule a meeting in after New Year and see where this goes." So I'm sure if it was someone he doesn't know, he may have some,
Hmm.
like he may have a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
reply to my email.
exactly. So
So it's not just the skills that I bring.
exactly. I think that's so true, Nora, is that currently it became not only the skill set, but also how do you build relationship with people, right? And networking is another way of saying it, or connecting to people. And I feel like we're really coming back to the basics of how we do work. It's like we're a bit removing formalities, maybe, right? Like in the past, it used to be recruitment process, a whole thing of formality. I don't know, we were supposed to prove all of the diplomas and educations and all of this experience as the reason why we should be hired. And now it's becoming, at least in the world that I'm in, more about what is your attitude, personality, character, but also how do you solve problems, right? And I even heard several people in the private sector talking about I'm no longer hiring for experience, but for a solution and the character they bring. And I think that's becoming more and more vivid. Therefore, for everyone who is like worried about like where to go and what to do, this focus that you could really look at it is okay, what are the skill sets that you bring, expertise that you bring, and also the networks that you bring that could already be amazing start for something next, right? So coming back to Noor, so the parts that you are now offering to people, or the support that you're offering, maybe you want to talk more about, so that we can start demonstrating how all the experience and expertise of the past can now support in making it into a business that you would like to, if you choose to, right? And how that can look in practice.
So let's say, Asel, I worked with EU to speak, about how I'd like to be in a year or maybe less now.
Mhm.
And yeah, like out loud, like speak to yourself out loud about what you want, and uh, um, like ask to do it with a coach if you can. I would definitely recommend Asel for this. Like believe in the next step. It seems quite far, but when you work for it, it's just much faster than you can think of. And also, when you put yourself in this mindset, you start to attract
Mhm.
things that are going your way and accelerating your path towards who you want to be. Um, so I worked a lot with organizations again on like how they want to brand themselves, how they want to speak about themselves, how they want to show their projects, how they want to solve a certain problem, and how they want to speak to each other. So if it's something that an organization wants, then it's also what a person wants as well. Uh, like especially with the cuts that are happening, people are thinking, okay, so I don't want to be tied to a contract anymore. Like I want to build my own personal branding with what I've earned and learned throughout the years of my very, very hard work. And I want to package it differently. So instead of keep on, applying for organizations and making calls and wait for my next interview, why don't I provide the world with a different service where I'm more useful, maybe? Um, so let's say I start to become active on LinkedIn and speak about what I do, explain some problems and connect with new people and meet with new people, and maybe these people will bring more opportunities my way. What if I'm like I've been doing country direction for such a long time, and I can write a guide for country directors, things that they can do that can solve lots of problems early. Um, if I were, um, let's say, someone working on communications, like how can I leverage my communication skills in a way that can maybe not just work for nonprofits, but for the private sector as well. It really depends, on the direction the person is seeking. But we definitely have transferable skills more than we think. And then I help people work on exactly that. So, how to brand themselves and how to transfer their skills in a way that would make them seen, grow their network, and sell their services, whether in a learning package, in a webinar, in a podcast, like e-course, whatever it is. I can help them build that from A to Z, and that's a lot of work, but it's also like merged with lots of AI tools that would make their life much, much easier. So let's say you stopped working because of the funding cuts, and it's been 3, 4 months that you're unemployed and you're living off your savings. You're definitely, maybe, not definitely, maybe you don't want to waste, like tens of thousands of dollars on a company that can make you make money in 6 months. Maybe you want to save this money to pay your bills. So I help people do this transition with less money and less human resources and more agency, um, like in a way that they can do this by themselves in the future, in the near future, actually. So let's say they don't know how to use LinkedIn and they have a lot to share but don't know how. I help them find their voice and help them create like a content strategy where they can do personalized posting without like AI, and yeah, and help them like grow their network quite fast with what they know.
Mhm. Amazing. So I would say for anyone who is any humanitarian who is going through this and they feel like, okay, I need to start my online presence. It seems life now does not work without it. Or in most of the cases, right? Whether we like it or not, that seems to be the case that we're going for. So then they can absolutely reach out to Noor. Another way would be how do I use the branding or AI to my advantage? So that could be another way that Noor could help. And also with Noor, we're working on how do I get more humanitarians working on passive income. I'm going to be building this with my own experience, and I would love to invite other people to do that as well. So there are a lot of different ways that we're exploring as to how we can sell the skill set in itself without tying it to any organization or any entity anymore, right? So it seems to be the future that we're going for. Now, it may not be for everyone, and that's okay. So if you feel you are the person who needs to apply, absolutely. With Noor, we were also discussing, okay, we want to keep applying and also getting organizations as clients. That's amazing. And in addition to the organizations, how can we get her individual clients as well who want to solve this type of problems of branding, online presence, maybe monetizing their work expertise already. So all of this, Noor would like to work on. So therefore, if you would like to reach out and work with her, amazing. Noor, I would say it has been one of the, I don't know, you are one of my clients who we work through a lot very fast, relatively, in if I compare to many other clients, right? And it's in addition to you having and navigating through a lot of the challenges that comes to being mom. Therefore, I just want to say well done, and I'm admiring all the ways that you went through. So, and also, of course, I don't know, like when mom says to me that, oh, I lack discipline or I lack this, I always say, no, that can't be true, right? If you're a mom, like discipline is your thing. It seems like an automatic thing that comes with the being a mom. So therefore, I feel moms have a lot of like amazing resources that come from even being a mom. So you can even use those to your advantage, right? So therefore, I just want to recognize Noor, well done for having gone through and you know, made some decisions that were very tough as well to come to this point to now say, okay, I'm dedicating my time and energy next year to work on this and supporting other humanitarians. And I'm really excited how this journey is going to go in 2026. So thank you for being here and doing this work with me and getting to this stage in a short period of time.
Thank you so much, Asel, for the opportunity. Really, I just wanted to highlight on one thing. Feeling overwhelmed is, I think, part of the process. And only a week ago, I came to you extremely tired. I haven't slept for 3 years, just so everyone knows. Um, and I have two asthmatic children, so it's not easy at all to do what we do as mothers alongside with the work that we need to deliver. So it's okay to feel tired, it's okay to feel frustrated. What's not okay is to keep staying stuck where we are and deciding that this is our fate. No, this is
Yeah,
not our fate. Even if we have to like remind ourselves every 5 minutes that no, we are built for more. This is all temporary. The kids are gonna grow up. And I can't believe it's been 2 years since my daughter was born. Really, I was very emotional this morning because I really thought that this period is gonna stay forever. And she's 2. Next year she's going to school, and I'll have more time to do what I need to do. So really, it's all temporary, whatever it is, children, something else, a bad job, a bad boss. Just the decision of us choosing to be stuck or not stuck is what's gonna, help us succeed or not.
exactly. Amazing. So, to every mom who's listening to us, we're sending a lot of love and saying that we can get out of this. That's really the message. If anything, know that there are moms who are doing it and you are one of them probably. So, we just want to send you big hug and love in those challenging situations. But at the same time, celebrating Noor for having done this, going to the other side, and obviously facing new challenges, but that will be the next
Still
chapter.
terrified, but
But
still terrified, but
congratulating.
thank you
Absolutely,
very
right?
much.
I think that's really the beginning of any business is it's terrifying, but at the same time feeling like, yes, I can do this, and then keep going one step at a time. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you everyone for being here, listening, and Noor, you have an amazing journey ahead.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so happy to be part of that. And see you next time.
Thank you.